Now at feralaudio.com/shop. 3 new Feral Audio t-shirts are available for a limited time in over a dozen styles and colors. Men's, women's, tank tops, hoodies, stickers, and more, including an original design Monarch by Julia Hagelin seen on our historic Comic-Con 2016 Hall H panel. Check them out at feralaudio.com/shop.
Hey nerds, it's your old friend Steve Agee, host of the Steve Agee podcast here on Feral Audio. I'm back this week with a brand new episode and a guest, the very funny comedian Paul F. Tompkins. Perhaps you know him from Mr. Show. Maybe you know him from his great podcast, Spontaneation. Or maybe you just know him as the guy you've seen around town with a mustache and a suit. Either way, he's funny and you should listen. Okay, that's settled. Bye.
Hello, America, all the countries and all the ships at sea. It's Jeff Davis from Harmontown, here to interrupt our show to talk about naturebox.com. It's snacks, but healthy snacks, delicious, healthy snacks. They got all kinds of cool shit. They send you stuff to your house. You order as much as you want. You eat as much as you want. Go to naturebox.com/Harmontown. And because you're a Harmontown fan and don't know what to do with your life, you get 50% off your first order. That's naturebox.com/Harmontown. Snack it up, motherfuckers.
Feral Audio.
From Hollywood, California, Meltdown Comics. The Nerdist Theater, Harmontown, is now in session. Spencer Crittenden, everybody. Spencer. And the mayor of Harmontown, Mr. Dan Harmon.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
What's up, Dan?
I thought I had a new note-taking method, but I don't know if it's working very well. Thanks for coming. Those of you that did, is it a Mother's Day? We got some late ticket sales. Mother's Day, Game of Thrones, maybe. It's not funny, you guys.
Did you call your mom today?
I threw her a text.
What was your text?
I said. I just texted her a bunch of Game of Thrones spoilers. She's a season behind, so. And then and she's like, "What are you doing? You're ruining everything." And I said, "I didn't ask to be born." And then I hung up, even though it was text. Oh, what do you think? I texted her Happy Mother's Day.
Are you Ironborn?
I am Ironborn. Thank you for asking. Man, that Game of Thrones, huh? That's a tough game.
I can't tell who's winning, who's losing. It's hard to keep track.
Oh, I think you either win or you die. I don't even think you can lose.
I like the guy now that what's her name, Cersei, who has who's the big fucker that's now her champion, the Mountain, and he's like a crazy zombie mountain guy, and he just smashing dudes. It's the best.
As promised, yeah. I mean, I kept thinking, well, are they really going there with that? And yep, I guess that's what he's going to do.
I told you backstage last week that you asked about Jon Snow. I said he's going to get smoke pussied, and smoke pussy is fucking she did it.
It was a little more artisanal than that, but and I don't think that's a spoiler because even people who
she got smoke pussied. He got smoke pussy.
But they've been Kit Harington's been on the key art and all that stuff. So
how was your week, Dan? What did you do? I haven't talked to you in a while.
I've been working, man. It's unremarkable.
This is gonna
be a terrible show, by the way. Terrible show.
All you do is work now. You work,
exactly.
work.
That's why it's going to be terrible. And when I'm not working, I've acquired this horrible habit. I'm headlong into a horrible, debilitating addiction to incremental tap games. Now I know what they're called. That was the first step. Somebody said, "Oh, incremental tappers," and I was like, "Incremental tappers? That's these games that I've just descended. Now I just have 5 games. I switch back and forth between them on my iPad. It was just like you just tap a cookie, and then you make 9 cookies, and then you can get a super cookie, and then you just keep tapping the super cookie or whatever. You build a bakery, and then it's just like if you hit a plateau, it's like, oh, looks like it's going to take an hour to build to like super chocolate chip level, and then you switch over to a thing where you're like on a moon, and you just like keep hitting the crater, and it's like fucking things, and you make a bulldozer to like it's insane. It's insane. There's 3 games. Tap Titans. I keep switching between that, and I think the same people make Tap Tycoon. These are quality tap games, but they're bad for your life. And then Tap Galaxy, which is more of an 8-bit affair where you just
talk me through Tap Tycoon. What goes on there?
Tap Tycoon. You're a little guy. Remember I told you guys about the Adventure Capitalist where you just hit the buttons that represent the businesses? Well, this one's a little more stylized graphically. There's a little guy, and then if you tap the air above him, dollars form, and he grabs them and stuffs them in his little pockets. And then over time you can buy businesses, and it's really just the same game, but it's just like there's a little dude jumping around.
It's just so you really are just you're just tapping things.
Yeah, you really do just tap, and I obviously. If my therapist were here, she would say, so in other words, you've found a way to keep your wheels spinning with reduced accountability. There's no chance of choosing right or wrong. There's no humans to interact with or disappoint. And it's amazing. Even a regular video game would be too much. It's like now I've been reduced to I'm just freebasing dopamine. I'm just like, I got up and I was in New York for the weekend, and I was hungover. I had a wonderful time with my lover, and we have a great time. But I sat up and I looked in the mirror that was next to the bed, and I said, oh my God, I'm a gorilla, and someone should just teach me sign language. I bet it would be easier for me to learn sign language. All right, so my chiropractor, every time I miss a session, he texts me. What does he say?
He texts me too. He texts both of us.
And he's
for real.
And he's supposed to just text.
He group text you?
No. He texts us both separately.
Let's see. I'm trying to find his. Oh, okay. Hi. This is what I got. You can't see this, but it's all the same. They all say, "Hi Dan, you missed your appointment today at 9:30. Will you be able to make it up on Thursday at 9:30?" Dr. And I wish I could tell you his name because you'd be like, what?
Is it a funny name?
Well, it's his first name, so it's like Dr. Gary, but it's worse. It's like, oi.
Mine is Dr. Doug. And he looks like a sexy George Clooney.
When do these guys get to? When did they make that rule?
He looks sexier than George. He's sexier than George Clooney.
How do you? I can't even picture that.
I know. And then he gives you. He cracks your back. You're like, fucking sexy George Clooney just fucked me up. It's the best.
How come these guys get to call themselves doctors as long as they don't use a last name? That seems problematic. Oh, by the way, problematic. I had a delightful conversation with a millennial that brought me another step further into my relationship with atoning with them. This person, everything about them on paper should have been like just a bad evening of talking to them, but because they're getting their degree, and it's just something that suggests that the world is fucked. But no, actually, it was actually something very interesting. It was transatlantic colonial literature, but I wanted to be funny and I wasn't. So but she was talking about, we were talking about, because she's studying like literature, particularly with a view on because it's the slavery period, it's like imperialism, colonialism, and that's what she's mostly interested in. And so we were talking about slavery within literature, mythology, and all this stuff. And she used this verb that I'd never heard before. She was like, "Well, I just and what I'm trying to do with my latest paper is I'm problematizing this and this and that, problematizing." And I was like, "Wait, you're problematizing?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Wait, oh shit!" I got really excited because I said, I only ever hear the word problematic. And she's like, yeah, problematic. Problematizing is the act of making something problematic, is figuring out that it is. And I was like, yeah, but that's so much better. And she goes, I know, because it's something I do and not something that you're pointing at and saying that is something. I was like, yes, God damn it. You could just smile and say, I love problematizing. And you wouldn't come off like such a fucking jagoff. You know, like I enjoy problematizing. That's why I'm so goddamn happy. It's a thing I like to do. It's like the equivalent of vandalism, only instead of a brick wall, it's your buzz. You know, like it's fun. I'm gonna put my mark on it. I like to problematize, and it's actually, you know, and I looked it up. You know, it's a real thing, and I was like, wait, okay, yeah, problematization, you can't say it if you've had a single drink. But it's to consider the concrete or existential elements of a term, writing, opinion, ideology, identity, or person as challenges, problems, that invite people involved to transform those situations. It's a method of defamiliarization of common sense. See, that sounds punk rock and lateral and inventive and interesting. I think what we keep.
Wait, so how do I problematize something? Like what does that mean?
Well, like, let's problematize Mother's Day. Right. Like okay, well, like
finally.
So, they list. I mean, this isn't nobody's. It would be problematic to tell you how to problematize, but because who are you? You know, Wikipedia is telling me how to problematize. But the sort of process is sort of to ask the questions: who is making this statement? For whom is he or she making it? Why is the statement being made here and now? Whom does this statement benefit? Whom does it harm? That's a good way of picking something apart. Especially though, what I really like is the invitation of people involved to transform something, and I think that's what gets left out a lot. I think that if you're like, so to problematize Mother's Day, it'd say like, you would have to ask like, well, who came up with Mother's Day? You know, that would require some research or a bunch of assumptions.
Hallmark, right?
I don't know, man. You'd have to look it up. That's the other problem, is that a lot of problematization seems to be a kind of hobby for, and like when it's based on zero research, then you're all the way into just kind of saying like, hey, this sketch offended me. Like who is making this sketch? Well, you're either going to say the writers, and then you got to get into all kinds of problematic like conversations about was it a black writer? Was it a white writer? If it was like, for instance, like a sketch that was like the Black News, and it was pointing out that black people have a different point of view, and it's like so then you're like you're bringing a bag into that airport and like unloading it, or you have to be so vague that it doesn't sound as provocative. Like you'd have to go just people. Or just the media. The media is at it again. The media is talking to whom? The underclass, the impressionable, black people, white people, the audience, just people. I don't know. You'd have to like be subjective and speculate and assume, or you'd have to like just be really vague and say, there's a box in my living room that I don't know how it works, and I read some stuff online about kind of how it works, so I'm making some assumptions about maybe the intention of this thing, and I'm kind of problematizing it. I think the danger there is that obviously problematizing while fun, and I think it's great to say I love doing it, I think that kind of like, it obviously doesn't invite discourse. So this is the problem that you see online all the time. It's just like, it's the white Redditor going like, actually, and like trying to problematize the problematization that's being brought up problematically. Because you can't, if somebody tells you that because remember, to problematize something is not to ask a question. It's not to provide any information. It's actually, just to put it in the most simple terms, it's to take something that everyone is assuming in the room and then to start to ask why are we assuming this, which is very healthy if you're dealing with, for instance, the Catholic Church saying like, no, this isn't a pedophile, and ask the question, is it? And then you go, oh, look at that, it is. But there's some research involved there, and and that's that invitation to transform. It's like, what are we going to do about this? But if you invite somebody to transform circumstances that they're assuming, in a negative way, that could be somebody sitting in a room and they're wearing a hat, and you just go, you should take that hat off because I'm looking at your hat in a different way, And I've found it problematic. And not only am I just complaining about it, I'm actually also inviting you, the person involved with your hat, to transform, to take part in this transformation. Now, the problem there, and maybe your hat has a swastika on it, so this is a good thing, maybe. Maybe you're in a synagogue. Like there is context and context and context. Maybe your hat is genuinely problematic. The problematic nature of problematization inherently is that if that person isn't wearing a swastika on their hat and you aren't in a synagogue, they're just a dude with a hat on. So if they say anything at all, you're already in a conflict. You've set the table for conflict. That's why it's probably called problematization, not because you're just finding them. You're causing problems. You're saying, take your hat off. And if the person ignores you, they're a fucking asshole. And if they say, I have a problem with your problematization of my hat, then they're, hat-splaining to you. And if somebody starts problematizing your problematization, what are you going to do? Stop and go, you're right, problematization is very problematic. I'll stop it immediately. No, you're going to say, stop hat-splaining my problematization. I'm trying to do something. So it's not really an activity.
I'm so confused. I still don't know.
Well, just it's not a group activity, problematization. Right. So
when you problematize, is it an active thing or is it like
it's a method of criticism?
Right.
It's an algorithm for criticism, maybe put it that way.
Is it good or is it bad?
I think it's good one time per conversation at the top of it, and needs to be heavily mitigated with the expectation that somebody might tell you to go fuck yourself because you haven't done any research and don't know what you're talking about. Because it takes a really, really, really long time to see a sketch on a television show. To go from there to writing an essay about it requires more than typing, I think, unless you're going to just make people laugh. If you're really going to try to make people think and provide new information, you're going to have to call somebody at the production office of that show and ask who wrote this. What were the circumstances? Where did the sketch originate from? How is your show structured? What does your writer's room look like? Was there rewrites on this thing? How did it end up being this particular sketch? Then you have to go around and find out how people received it and what happened. And then you have to still bring in all kinds of speculation about who benefited and who's suffering. I mean, all those things are going to be really subjective. Now, here's the thing. There are situations in which it's not subjective at all and is really easy. And those things seem to be like, are Teflon for problematization. Like, God damn it, I hate this fucking word. Donald Trump comes pre-problematized. You can't fucking touch the guy. He's a Rubik's Cube and all the colors are the same on every side. If a senator says, arts education is a waste of money in urban schools because urban kids tend to get urban jobs. You can problematize the shit out of that and start talking about how urban probably means black and blah, 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 blah. If someone says all Mexicans are rapists, you have nothing to do but go fly a kite. He's like, it's like, who's making this statement? Donald Trump. To whom is he making it? Trump supporters. Why is he making it? To get votes. Who's suffering? Mexicans. Who's gaining? Angry white people. You're done. There's nothing to do. And the danger of that is that if we're addicted as a culture to problematizing as an activity, it might just be that we think that when we're done doing that, we're done doing everything. And that we don't then do what, Woodward and Bernstein did, which is take down a fucking dude. Take him down. Look shit up in books. Go meet with people in parking garages.
But how do you take somebody down who takes himself down constantly?
Well, there's got to be shit that this guy, it's got to be all the worst. The guy is a pathological liar. I don't know. I saw that Vanity Fair piece from the 90s. I don't know. It's all out there. It's like he had Hitler's speeches next to his bed. I guess you're right. No, I don't know what to do. There's got to be a way. There's got to be a way to find out, or to figure out that we don't have to.
I was at Dino's today. Dino had a barbecue, and there was these.
And Donald Trump was there.
These directors were there, and one of the directors was saying, the guy that's doing the Albert Brooks and Louis C.K. thing. And these guys were there. And it's like, one of the guys says, apparently Hitler was really into poop. Like he and Eva Braun, their housekeeper had to keep changing their sheets because every time they got together there was shit everywhere. And so like he was saying like apparently like Hitler was really into scat play and the pooping and Dina goes, "Don't ruin Hitler for me."
Meaning don't dimensionalize him. Yeah, keep him Dracula for me. He's just like a character. It's like the girl with the skunk hair and the Archies. Hitler's here. He wants the band to fail. That's it. Don't tell me when he goes home he has interesting things going on.
Because we keep finding out that Hitler had a micro penis. He had one testicle. He likes to poop on people. Like he was just a bad guy. Like he what? He peed on his nephew. Says somebody in the crowd. Is that verifiable evidence?
It's not verified, but it's a common rumor.
He peed on his nephew. Under what circumstances?
Sexually.
All right, now. Who is making this statement?
Dan, are you going to problematize that statement?
Some kind of Hitler hater. For whom is he or she making it?
Do you know why Hitler killed himself?
No.
He saw his gas bill. It's true.
It's true. He said that he offers up.
It's a verifiable, unproblematizable fact.
Whatever. I'm not gonna. That was a bad Hitler joke.
It's a great Hitler joke.
Here's why, because it takes the actual gas part and it trivializes it. That is problematic. There. All right. Like the funny Hitler jokes are like, oh, do you know why Hitler did? You know why he never drank?
Why?
He was an angry drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
see, not as funny as the gas one.
Well, I don't tell jokes very well, but it's just like Hitler, when you use Hitler as like an Abe Lincoln or a Dracula, like where it's just like, oh, you have to invite him in before he can come in, like Hitler has those little rules. But then like the actual minutia of the extermination, and then in addition to that, taking that and going like, oh, what a Monday. All right. But with any joke, when you walk through this process, I don't know that there's a flowchart. Who is making the statement? Someone telling a joke. For who are they making it? An audience. Why is the statement being made? The person's trying to be funny. Who does it hurt? Who does it benefit? Anyone that laughs. Who does it hurt? Anyone that doesn't. I mean, that's kind of been known for a while. And really, it's not going to get you anywhere either, is it?
What's your current favorite joke?
Or all problematization is like, who's problematizing? Academics. For whom are they doing it? Academics. Why are they doing it here and now? For academia, possibly to justify the existence of academia. Who does that benefit? Academics. Who does it hurt? People who would otherwise maybe do shit? Okay, but that's just me dumbsplaining.
Spencer, you talked to your mom today?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I texted her. Yeah. Sure.
What did you say?
I said, Happy Mother's Day. No, I don't know. She texted me a couple days ago, was like, am I going to see you on Mother's Day? It's just like one of these things where it's like, oh, I guess I'm not going to text you for 2 or 3 days. So it's just like, I don't want that, man. I don't need that. You're texting me. Am I going to see you texting me? And, that's what I want to know. I don't want to know that. I don't know. It just sucks, man. It sucks. I hate my parents. I hate my family. I hate everything. It's no good. My grandpa's dead. He's fine. No, I mean, he's dead, but he's fine. Like, no one, it's fine.
Was he fine before he was dead, or he's fine now that he is dead?
He's fine now that he's dead, yeah. So, I don't know.
You're not pals with your parents at all?
No. They were, no. They were, no. Yeah, no.
Do you think there's a day that you might be, like, come back around to be friends with him?
I feel like these are the times that it would be happening, and I'm really going in the opposite direction. So, I mean, I got to figure that out if I want that to happen.
What would have to happen for you to become friends with him?
I don't know, man. It's so much. It's all like nickel and dime shit, you know? It's not like some big falling out happened. It's just like this happens all the time and this happens all the time. And at the end of the day, it's like I don't want most of that. So I'm here, you know? That's why I'm here.
I think like back in the old days when we first met you, that you felt like kind of responsible for their relationship and kind of like you're kind of a caretaker, right?
Sure, yeah, I think I said that.
Is that still the case or no?
No, I mean, well, my dad lives in Colombia. I mean, he probably has a girlfriend or something right now. He's taking care of himself, and my mom, she's like a hobo or something. She's like couch surfing and traveling and stuff. She doesn't have a stable residence as far as I'm aware. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows, right?
You know what my big thing with family is?
You don't like them.
At some point, there was this syndrome that started happening where it was like, well, I haven't talked to these people in a while. And then it's like, now I'm 43, so they're getting long in the tooth. Like, we're getting to the point where after a long life of, like, fruitfulness and tradition and stuff, you're supposed to, like, partake of this tragic, like, third act where it's, like, bittersweet, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to even, I don't, part of me, like, just because of our kind of stigma against, like, sickness and stuff, like, I don't want to say certain words out loud because I'll sound like just the epitome of evil. But like, I just have this, like, weird feeling about, like, well, I don't even know these people at this point, and I'm going to start now?
Yeah.
Because now is a bad time to start.
And it's like, and for what? For the benefits of family? Because I feel like I've been cruising without that just fine all this time. And, it's all been good. So now I want to go into that morass just because that's what happens on television. Like, it seems dumb.
And a little bit of a slight, right? If you didn't get, like, the whole, like, other side of it where it's like, your family means a lot to you. Throwing the ball in the yard, Thanksgiving times, AT&T wants you to be there. This holiday season, when the gravy's up and the stockings are out, bring your nuzzles around the Christmas tree. It's like when it's really just more dysfunctional than that. You just kind of like. Then you're supposed to get that, like the cable knit sweaters and the golden retrievers and the like. Dad's gonna do his Chaplin impression again. I love it when we come up to this cabin in the Hamptons every winter, and sure we have our problems. And remember when Gloria smoked weed and we sent her to rehab, but now she's okay. The McClanahan clan keeps getting bigger and happier. And then if you had all that, then bring on the fucking diagnoses. And I gotta go away for the weekend. Meep, beep. Like, I always wanted to do more. I know, but you did, Uncle Herman. But if Uncle Herman was like, why get on board right before the meep?
Yeah. Exactly, because it's like just a flat line up until that point. It's like what is the peak that we're hoping to achieve before the inevitable pitfall?
Yeah, what is this denouement that I'm getting? It's like if you went to see a Matrix movie and it was just about Keanu Reeves like fighting a million Agent Smiths, and you'd be like, what's this weird educational video? Like someone would have to explain to you there was a first movie and it was kind of fun.
If you met Dan, like if you met your mother or your father at a bar, like they were strangers, do you think that you would have anything to talk about? Like if you just met them face value as strangers?
Yeah, I think I'd like my dad. You know. Yeah.
You could have a chat. You could enjoy each other's company.
Yeah. It's a bad way to spend Mother's Day talking about. I think my dad's a cool guy.
Not your mom though.
Well, with my mom, but my mom, it's more important to be like. I mean, it's like this is, and I think moms get a bum rap. I think it's an opposite gender kid kind of thing too. It's also, but like, I think moms get a bum rap from the male kids because they nurture and they, they are there, and then ironically you kind of you cut the strings and you don't look back and go like what a pal. You look back and go like goddess monster, in any case not a human, like you really need to have like a human relationship with your family or you're not going to have one, and that's a statement that's really powerful. But then again, and everybody I talk to always goes like, we always end this conversation, we go like, yeah, but have you met those people with the loving Norman Rockwell family? Yeah, not funny people. like just really annoying.
When your mom passes away, what do you feel like there'll be a loss? Like like something will be subtracted from you?
I think this is a bad day to say anything, but yes.
Well, what?
Well, because just on the off chance that she's like, well, it's Mother's Day, he'll probably say something about me. And then you're like, when she dies, will you feel anything? So yes.
But it'll be different than when your father passes away. I think
there's going to be complicated feelings either way, but I do acknowledge that they're going to be more narcissistically centered. They're going to be like unresolved shit that I haven't worked on yet.
My mom died when I was 13, and it's like that was like kind of the perfect time for that to happen, because I wasn't so young that I didn't know her, but I wasn't so old that it meant a lot more. But when I look at when I remember my mother, she's so much of who I am. Like as much as I'm genetically my father, I look just like my dad. I'm intellectually my mother. Like I have all of her emotions, like her brain, and it's like when I think of my mom today, it's like she was so fucking funny. She was so cool, and I didn't know her long enough. Like I was 13, so she was kind of hard going. Like it was a little bit heavy to be around my mom because she was that intense. But I wish she was still around because she was like the funniest person I ever knew.
My mom got me my first typewriter, my first Commodore 64. She always made sure, she told me whenever I said, what should I do? She always said, do whatever you want. She never said, you have to be this or that. She never had a career plan for me. She always said, just make sure you do it because you want to do it, and make sure you're really good at it. If you're going to be a garbage man, no offense to the garbage men listening, but that's the example she would use. If you're going to be a garbage man, just be the best garbage man, that there is, and make sure you're happy doing it. So
she was super on your side. Like, also she threw things at you.
She usually throwing them at my dad, and I would get in the way. Like my birthday cake. But it was carrot cake. I didn't even want it.
I love carrot cake. Is a Lexus of cakes.
I would give up 1,000 birthday cakes for the story I got, which is my mom threw my 11th birthday cake at my dad. Like I would give up cake forever to have that story be true, which it is. And then she's like, "Here's your D&D books. I didn't have time to wrap them." And I was like, "That's fine, man. This is awesome." All right, well, let's bring out our guests. We can continue to talk about this. Let's bring some more dudes out here.
If the show's lacking anything, it's more dudes.
It's dude energy. These guys have a very popular Feral Audio podcast. It's like I don't know if you care about such things, but it's number 5. I happen to know that. It's like the 5th most popular Feral Audio podcast.
Where are we?
I don't know. I don't care about these things.
Top?
We're number 1?
1 or 2, I don't know.
Who's number 1?
I think it might be Duncan Trussell.
I'll fucking kill that guy.
Fucking hippie piece of shit. Fucking probably, yeah. He's probably they're probably counting astral people in the listeners' numbers. It's like Greg and Greg's spirit are both listening.
Dan, in this lighting right now, right where you're standing, right in this lighting, you have become more good-looking than Russell Crowe.
Thanks.
He looks like shit. You've crossed over into being better Russell Crowe.
Our guests tonight I have a podcast called The Doughboys on Feral Audio. They review. Excuse me.
Wait, what the? That's the worst intro in the world. You can't burp during an intro.
They review franchise restaurants. It's salt of the earth. It was my burp was salt of the earth. They review franchise chain restaurants. You know, like Jesus Christ. We'll get to know every little detail about them. They're UCB alum. They're very much they're related to our family by a lot of mutual cousins and things. We can talk about that too. Oh, can we, Dan? Shut up, you fucking millennial puke. What did you come here for? Did you think Norman Lear was coming back?
Norman Lear, that was the most intense shit in the world.
I know, and then remember when Dustin uploaded the podcast and it said Normal Lear? This guy, 93 years old, he's worked in the business for 100 of those years. His name is Norman. You Silver Lake hippie. Get the incense out of your mouth. The Doughboys are here, and we're going to get to know them now. They are Nick Weiger and Mitch Mitchell, the Doughboys.
That's Mike Mitchell, right?
Well, you go by Mitch, though,
I go
right?
by Mitch, yeah, so that's fine.
We haven't established canonically what Mitch's name is. He goes by Mike, he goes by Michael, and he goes by Mitch.
I'm fine with all
Well,
of
see,
them.
I was trying to save work because it said the information I got was it's Mike Mitchell. He goes by Mitch, and I was like, why am I going to share the genealogy? I was just saying.
I introduced myself as Mitch. I don't care about myself enough to even care what anyone calls me. When people ask me, I'm just like, yeah, Mitch or Mike. I don't care. I don't care what they say. It's fine with me, so long as I don't make anyone angry, which I think I'm doing right now, possibly.
No, you have to work harder than that to get on their good side. They're like, I hate myself too. Grow up.
All right, good. We're on the same side then. Yeah.
So your podcast is people love it. Spencer counts himself among the fans, I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Spencer.
It's not a big
Yeah,
deal.
thanks, Spencer.
It's not a good look to tell people you love their podcast.
It's not a good look.
It's not.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, we like it. We're number 5. We didn't know we were number 5. That's not bad, right?
I got that. It's Dustin. He's a producer. He thinks about these things.
He's just gonna give a thumbs up or something. Yeah, all right, there we go.
Why is it called Doughboys?
Good question. I mean, I would say that we are doughy men eating unhealthy food. So
He was fat at one point.
I'm still like, yeah. I'm
And
not super
I
lean.
remained fat. Oh, and I've never not got fat, but he was a fat guy at one point, and he's thin. You're a thin man now.
I'd say I'm towards the slender side, but there's still a layer of pudding over everything. Like I'm not like cut, I'm in pretty good shape though.
Yeah.
I used to be a lot fatter.
Yeah.
But no, it's we live an unhealthy lifestyle. We both kind of have the diets of guys who are bulking up for an Academy Award-winning role, and so and so it's just like we're, as far as a comment on that, Doughboys felt appropriate. The other one, a runner-up, was Side of Guys. We almost went with that, and I think we made the right call.
Yeah. I went dead silent.
Are you both under 30?
I'm 35.
I'm 33.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause, under 30, I couldn't gain a pound. Then one day I was sitting at Rob Schraub's with Dan. We would get Benito's tacos every night, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm fat."
I gained a pound. He put it under his pillow, his first pound. He framed it like a car wash's dollar. Just curiously though, Nick is the skinny one, right?
Nick,
not the one that's named Mike and Mitch.
Nick is the skinny one, and there's a part of me that thinks that this is all like a Seven style plot by you to make me fucking fatter and fatter as time goes on.
Do you think every time you wait? Well, so not to. I don't want to derail us too much, but I am curious if you were fat and you got thin, Nick. What was there a method you used? Because a lot of my listeners are always looking for a new technique.
He told me his technique.
Tough. Yeah, I mean, like, I've been through, my weight has yo-yoed a lot through my life. I was like a fat kid, and then I got skinny late in early adulthood. When I was like 18, 19, I was like very thin, in the best shape of my life. Then I plumped up again throughout my 20s. Then around 29, I lost some weight again, and the factor late in life was diet. Like earlier in life, when I had that initial weight loss, I just started swimming, and I just burned off a shitload of calories. I think, like what I'm saying, just that much of activity and having that young metabolism. But as I was older, I found that I had to restrict sugar and restrict carbohydrate intake, and just have a very strict sort of low carb-ish diet.
All right, but you're not doing that anymore. Do you guys actively? When you, as I listened to a little bit of one of your most recent podcasts, I picked the one that had my friend David Phillips on it.
Oh yeah,
you love Phillips.
Phillips is a great guy.
And but I never got to the part where you actually started talking about the specific restaurant. Although at the top of the podcast episode, there's this very charming post Karina Longworth. Is that a reference that sticks? No. The very very academic, just like dump of information about the restaurant you're going to be talking about. Is that every episode?
I have a little monologue I start each episode with that's kind of just loosely plagiarized from Wikipedia, but makes me sound and feel smart, so I like to say it. And sort of gives a little background on the restaurant, and then we fuck around for like 45 minutes, and then we finally get to the restaurant and we talk about that for pretty much the balance of the episode.
Yeah, you give it a nice little autistic twist on it, and people seem to enjoy it.
Are you just drawing on memories of eating at these places, or do you ever have to study up?
Mitch and I go before each episode. The two of us go either together or independently, sometimes with our guest, to the restaurant in question. So we always have a fresh perspective on whatever we're visiting, and sometimes that involves a drive to Gardena to visit Long John Silver's.
Yeah, that sucks. And then in March, I ate 18 cheeseburgers in March. Please, I'll take it. I have nothing else to. I love it.
Wait. You ate 18 burgers throughout the month of March, or you ate them in one day?
No, God, no. 18 cheeseburgers throughout the month of March.
That was not for the podcast, though.
It was for the podcast. So
What's your favorite burger in town, Mitch?
So this is, we were ranking them, and it's
a point of contention.
And it's a point of contention because I like Wendy's, he likes In-N-Out Burger, and then I voted in the final. I voted for Shake Shack was what I voted for.
Shake Shack. I don't think I've ever been there.
It's good. It's really good.
What is the? Because I mean, it's important to note you guys aren't snarky about the whole thing. Like you're not foodies that are bashing on these restaurants for being less than gourmet. You're actually partaking in you're opening the hood of a staple of our lives, which is like these giant corporate chains, and you're approaching them as if you were talking about real food. Where did that passion come from? Where did that passion come from? Harmon, just go hang yourself. Where did that passion come from?
You put a good twist on it, because I feel like we like all these restaurants and we want an excuse to eat there every week, I feel like, and that was a big part of it. And then,
Well, did you guys? So when you guys go to right here, I mean, turning this into something about me, the big LA thing is there's a new restaurant every day, and there's another one closing. And if you wanted to, every day you could just and there are people who want to do this. In particular, I feel like it's an age thing. Like my younger friends have no problem going, let's go eat at this one place. I heard great things about it. And I always know that if you heard great things about it, that means I'm going to be sitting in doll furniture, elbow to elbow with strangers, and eating, not to get all Tim Allen about it, but also the portions are going to be small and weird, like in some deliberate way, some offhandedly fucking deliberate way. And whereas then there's just like, holy shit, can I go to Taylor's Steakhouse?
I every time I go to Night and Market Song, Night plus Market Song, I'm always afraid I'm going to fall through the chair every time I go there. Like I'm truly nervous and embarrassed I'm going to fall through the chair. But Yeah, I mean, we talked about that because we do I like all types of food, but
yeah, we like fine dining too, and we like cool, hip, individual location places, but there's something inclusive and comforting about chains by design. It's a different experience going to a Mimi's Cafe or a Chili's, and their whole it's calculated at a corporate level to make you feel included. And I don't know. I mean, we wanted to celebrate that atmosphere and not make fun of it because it's something that for a lot of people that's the only, depending on where you live in the country, those are the only restaurants you have access to.
Right. Well, that's interesting. So in being connoisseurs of chains, so what are the things that you have concluded? What connects all of them? You've done 50 episodes of this, so there must be. Is there overriding psychological principles at work in a successful chain restaurant?
I'd say 100%. Well, you're the smarter one of the two, so you go for it.
When you say make you feel included, I think is the phrase you used. Make you feel included or invited. What did you say exactly?
I said included. I'm not sure if that was the perfect word choice.
But what do you elaborate on that?
Well, it's just anytime you're at a restaurant, you're paying for the you're paying for the food, but you're also paying for the service. You're paying for people to pretend like they're your servants for a little bit. And I feel like the better chain restaurants, fundamentally, that's what you're dealing with. You're paying for people to sort of dote on you and take care of your every need and act like to pretend in this situation you're a higher status to them, but in the real world you might not be. So I think the effective chain restaurants kind of just have that experience. They just present it in a way that you would in a good individual location restaurant. They franchise wide. They kind of have you. They make you feel that way. And one restaurant we reviewed very highly. This chain Hillstone. It goes by many names. Houston's, you may know, is most popularly. Yeah, Houston's is great. But I mean, that's a place where just the level of service. The level of service is universally very high, in addition to the food quality. So I guess
I find Chili's reliable in an airport. Where airports is kind of
that's their slogan.
It's its own thing.
It's a no man's land in an airport.
I've never. That's an interesting from a class perspective. It's you're talking about a middle class thing, and going out to dinner being not something you do every night, possibly doing it with your family and loved ones. And there is, I guess, that there is something interesting about that. They create little worlds as if it's part dinner, part vacation. You've come to islands. You've have a tropical doppeldy-doopy-doo. They have little sayings, and they have outfits, and they have the whole theme thing. And I just realized that's not. I don't know what I ever thought that was. I hadn't problematized it yet. I hadn't looked at it and asked myself. I just felt like that was just. But that's what they're trying to do. Is they're competing over dollars that are harder earned than to say they're like dollars that are holy shit, I almost died typing for this dollar. My bones are sticking out of my fingertips, and I want to make sure I get treated right, and so that that's the big giant parking lots with the big blinking signs that say. Look, there's plenty of room here. There's a runway.
Yeah, I feel like, and especially now, there's that thing of there's two things at play too that I feel like that kind of will separate the good from the bad, and it's the quality being good across all the restaurants. If you can keep a standard of quality in Los Angeles and then somewhere in Wyoming, everywhere you go, it feels like kind of the same level of food, then that's and then the chains that have failed have been ones that kind of you go to a different place and it'll be good and then it will be bad,
or they're just bad in general.
I mean, those are the worst. There's just places that taste like shit.
We went to this place that I had fond memories of from my childhood, Caro's, which is a West Coast chain.
Caro's cares.
Yeah, and at one point they were pretty. It was pretty big, and it was well reviewed, and it was well revered. And it was a place that would be a treat. And now it's dying. It got bought off by a larger company, and it went from I think at its peak it had 60 locations. Now it's 12 locations. We went to one in South Pasadena, which was one of the only ones in the greater LA area, and it was a real sad scene.
We asked we were what do you like to eat at this place, and she was nothing. She said that. She just said nothing at all, and we were
remember, Caro's has rice pudding, by the way. Nobody has rice pudding. You can get a rice pudding at Karas.
Well, I think that's the thing of like the entire clientele except for us was older adults, was seniors who I think it was like, oh, this is my comforting place that I've gotten used to. But I think
Do you guys ever go to Sambo's, or are you too young?
Sambo's?
Yeah.
No, not me.
Problematic.
I was about to say.
There's a place called Sambo's. I think there might be still one that exists. Santa Barbara?
Oh my God!
Is it still
exists.
there? And
They maintain that's why it's called Sambo's. It's short for Santa Barbara. We know better from the logo.
Yeah.
The logo isn't a sunset behind a ship. What about Barnaby's? You guys ever hear Barnaby's?
Have you heard of Barnaby's?
Where is Barnaby's?
Barnaby's
was
it was a place. When I was a kid, I thought there was only one Barnaby's. That's the other thing. When you're a kid, you grow up whatever. But that's the thing. When you're a kid, you just want to kill myself. I want to kill myself just so I can go to hell and have everyone there tell me to kill myself.
Man, we would love to have you on the podcast because we talk about fast food, but like 70% of it is talking about killing ourselves.
Yeah, if there isn't a death wish behind a podcast dedicated to reviewing chain restaurant food, then I guess you'd have to go to the Philip Morris happy hour. I don't know.
We talk about it on the podcast, and then we get done with the podcast, and we text each other about how we want to kill ourselves. Like, never stops happening.
By the way, for you 16-year-olds listening, that is a sport among those of us over 30. We're professionals.
Don't do it. Yeah.
If you have conflicted feelings, talk to somebody. That's not the same thing. It's not the same thing that you're feeling. Just hang in there and talk to somebody. All right. I want nothing on my hands, man. I want to leave only footprints on this world. And I already fucked up with that Chevy voicemail. And I last thing I need is this Tumblr note. The Barnaby's was but also I care if you're listening. Barnaby's was like this. It had this like stained glass. It was an Italian restaurant, kind of not Italian restaurant. It was a pizza place, and it was everything was like varnished wood and darkness and like stained glass chandeliers and stained glass windows that didn't let any light in if you were eating there during the day, and then there was like a little window to the kitchen, like some of those places have, where you could watch the guys make the pizza. I don't know. I don't know why I'm bringing it up because great. I never knew it was a chain. I just thought it was this place that it was in Milwaukee, and my family would go there. It was that was our place. That meant that. Like beyond let's go to McDonald's because it's a fuck it kind of night. This was like it's special. It's like a fuck it kind of night, and we're in a good mood. It closed. It got taken over by this place called Tomfooleries, which was it was on the heels of Chuck E. Cheese. It was Chuck E. Cheese for adults. Tomfoolery. The logo was in Miami Vice style blue neon. And you would go into the idea was that the parents could hang out in this swank 80s swingery kind of dining environment, and there was a stack of free tokens for the arcade in the corner, which was like this grotto you would just stuff your kids for the evening. And it was like pursuing this strange dichotomy. It was like hey, it's the 80s. Maybe your family's a liability. And Pac-Man's here to solve that problem. We've got this shit figured out, Reaganomics, man. But then my friend Dino took me to a Barnaby's in Chicago, and it was identical. I had so many fucking flashbacks. I was like, wait, can I go to the bathroom? The answer is yes. But like the entire floor plan of the entire place was identical, which is another crazy thing about a chain restaurant. Is like you could have a memory of your favorite 8th birthday,
yeah,
and then you could if that virus of that restaurant survives in some pocket, even if you have to go find one somewhere, you could like have all those flashbacks.
We just recently. Well, he's got something going on. We recently went to Chuck E. Cheese's. Speaking of tomfooleries,
my lovely ex-wife Erin McGathy's episode, right?
That's correct. Yeah, and I've never felt like a bigger pervert in my entire life.
Wait, did you actually go to a Chuck E. Cheese with Aaron?
I went.
Are you fucking her?
No.
Oh, shit.
Because, like, I'm dating, but
The best Harmontown ever.
No, sir. No, sir.
We find out one of the doughboys is fucking your ex-wife.
and that's how you do it, Chuck E. Cheese.
I mean, if you're gonna fuck someone's ex-wife, take him to Chuck E. Cheese.
I'm sorry, I'm derailing you to a certain extent. Are there still Chuck E. Cheeses?
There's a lot of them actually. There was way more than I thought there was going to be.
Yeah, there's like 250. There's like a good number nationwide.
Whoa.
They merged with Showbiz. Was it Showbiz or Showtime Pizza? I think Showbiz Pizza. Yeah, they merged with Showbiz Pizza and then converted all their locations. There's still a lot.
You know, on the skee ball there, when the tickets come out, if you slightly pull, they just keep fucking coming.
Oh yeah.
Nice hack.
Here's another life hack. If you're 11 years old in the 80s and you don't get invited to a Chuck E. Cheese birthday party, you fucking you're off the grid, unpopular.
You become a show creator later on in life.
I never. It was like, oh, Steve's having a Chuck E. Cheese birthday. But it was like there was no discretion because those parties were just like, just tell basically everybody to come. It's not like people were buying their pizza. It was like a Midwestern thing. It was like, just show up. They didn't want me there.
Who did?
They didn't want me in a public place.
Dan, who did not invite you to a Chuck E. Cheese?
I said Steve.
Steve who?
I'm not gonna name his last name.
Is it Ramstack?
No. I mean, the people who wronged me have suffered. Believe me.
Wait, what did you do?
I didn't do shit. I'm God's hammer, N-word. I'm fucking, karma just happens. Sometimes you have the pleasure of feeling God hammering people, using you as the hammer. That's what Facebook's about, right?
Like, you feel that nature actually has like tortured them, or they actually got their comeuppance?
I don't know. Do you think their goal was to just keep loving football, and was that supposed to make them like really happy? Or
I mean, did something terrible happen to that person?
I don't say there's no burnt houses or anything on their Facebook profiles, but I check in and I go like, yeah. Told you baseball was dumb. I don't post that on their page, but I say it to myself and I masturbate, cry, and fall asleep. And I don't come a lot. I come desperate, sad little droplets.
Well, after hearing this, just to be clear, Nick and I don't fuck at all. We don't fuck anything. But I went to Chuck E. Cheese by myself, and then a friend.
For those of you who aren't video subscribers,
the crowd gasped.
Mitch isn't a guy you hope as a parent to see at a Chuck E. Cheese by himself. You'd rather see him there with a kid and a baby Bjorn.
A grown adult friend joined me, a man,
It's getting worse.
If he looked like Stanley Tucci, it just makes it worse. It's just like you have like an accomplice.
It was not good. We sat by the stage, and he was like intent on playing skee ball afterwards, and I was like, please, I was sweating. I was like, we need to get out of here as fast as possible. But we played a little skee ball. It's one of those virus restaurants that you were talking about, like a virus chain where it's you're like, oh, I remember some of this, but it's not. Nothing is right here. Like nothing feels right about it.
I have the strangest, most specific memory. I went to Showbiz before it was Chuck E. Cheese one time, and I think it was because my parents got so used to me coming home kind of like sad and then dragging it out of me that Steve didn't invite me to his fucking gala again. So at one point they actually took me to showbiz, just my parents and me, and we sat in the back room, and there was a Billy Bob the Bear, and he sang songs and stuff. I think I've talked about this on the podcast before because I remember it straight. I was probably 12 years old, 11. And they did this like letters section. They would sing songs, the animatronic band, and then they did a letter like oh here's letters. And then one of the letters they read was from a kid who said, "Billy Bob, how come when you're on stage you have bare feet with no shoes on, and when you're wandering around the arcade you have sneakers on?" Why would they include that? Like, talk about like a weird shame, like fraud complex, like, and just like a telltale heart, like they're like we have to address this. And Billy Bob said animatronic robot bear answered the question that the kid posed and said, "Well, the thing is, when I'm up here on stage, I don't want to fall off the stage, so my bear toe claws help me keep balance up here. God. But when I'm walking around there while you're eating your food, no one wants to see my toenails out there. Meanwhile, you're eating pizza and listening to him talking about his toenails, and it's gross. So mission not accomplished, and then they moved on. That's my memory of Showbiz Pizza Place was just this weird like over piping. Like, don't if sometimes if it's broke, don't fix it.
I feel like you can't hear any of that stuff anymore because it's just like the whirring of like 20-year-old robots is all you can hear now. It's just like the stirring of the robots and the flapping of their eyelids and stuff. It's very off-putting.
There must be a thing. So it must be at this point there must be a heavy like the pie chart of their customer base. A big slice of it must be nostalgic adults coming in to relive a childhood memory who don't have kids with them.
Based on me and Mitch's anecdotal experience, I would say that's a very small slice.
Okay.
It feels like they're mostly families, and if you're adults alone without kids, you're drawing eyeballs for being very, very... Yeah, I don't know how much of the nostalgia crowd it's attracting among people who don't have kids. Maybe people who take their kids are like, oh, there's a place I used to go to as a kid, you know?
So if you are over 30 and you do want to take a nostalgic trip back to an animatronic themed pizza place, take a kid. Well, maybe one you know, whatever. Just find a kid and have them with you so that the other parents can be comfortable.
We were afraid we were going to get stopped.
But leave with a different kid.
Well, they have controls in place for that.
Controls, yeah. They have checks and they have their checks and balances.
Well, yeah, the ball pit, man, tells no tales. The ball pit tells no tales. It's like the pig pen in Deadwood.
Cocksucker. Sergeant.
Take him to the ball pit.
When you get in there, there's like an airlock system, and you have to like wait in a cattle crate, and they come over and give you wristbands that are color coordinated so that they know that you're leaving with the correct children.
Oh God!
What?
Yeah, it's really, really crazy.
Wow. I mean, that represents some actual crimes.
Yeah.
Like,
they used
it
to have
represents
a
some
hand
actual
stamp. They used to have this hand stamp. It was like ultraviolet, you know, and so there'd be a letter on it. But then I think they realized you could just like buy those stamps, and that's why they do wristbands. I don't know.
This is a rabbit hole.
it's making it so hard for me to go and just steal children from Chuck E. Cheese.
I we have to book on this guy. Steve Levy's not here, so this will fall on deaf ears. But I want to book on the podcast because I don't want to do any research. I want to know, like, is the actual, like, what the hell is there? Is it what it? What is there more terrible things happening to children per capita?
Oh no.
Or is this like a weird?
What guest is going to solve that problem for you?
A social
child
worker,
molester?
Janet Jackson.
A census taker? I don't fucking know. yeah, I kept. I go back to the same house and then they're gone. No, I don't know. Actually, I'm just somebody who could actually just say like, no. Well, here's the thing, because I know there's a variety of variables. For instance, the population keeps exploding. So even if you were to, so sometimes flat numbers can be misleading. I'm just like Duncan was on this podcast and he really like when he was like saying, oh, never mind. I'm not going to quote him again because it was so funny, but it makes him sound like a villain too. I just like it's we've become obsessed. Obviously, our national psyche is like doting on this like idea. We can't have a conversation that involves children without immediately like it's like a syndrome of like both comedians have learned it and like actual concern, and it's all feeding into itself. It's like this zeitgeist pocket of like, oh my God, children are just like this, like candy apple, just like rolling around, and like they have targets on every side of their body, and like the world is made of arrows. And
I'm not interested in them. I think they're gross.
I think they're annoying. I think they don't know overkill. Like, you ever try to explain to a kid that comedy comes in fucking threes, not 90s? Yeah, I get it. It's an airplane. Fucking moron.
The stuff they're into, yeah, you know what? Some of them are going to get taken. No one will agree with this side. Some of them are going to get taken sometimes, but Room has showed us that they get back unharmed. They find their way back.
I'm just curious, like, if there's something at work in the national psyche, like, there's some shift that happened. Like, we changed our perception of drugs several times. Like, we made decisions. You can trace them, you know, depending on your ideology.
Maybe it's that you can't fuck kids anymore. You know?
Maybe it's impossible.
Like, I feel like through most of human history, people have just been fucking kids left and right? Like the child, you know, like, you know, you'd get married at like 11 or 12, and then Greeks would fuck little boys. It's like,
it's actual absence of the legal recourse to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this: at my confirmation, Cardinal Law was at my confirmation. He gave mass.
Cardinal Law?
Cardinal Law, like
his name was Cardinal Law.
Cardinal Law, and he's.
Was he with corporal punishment?
You don't know about Cardinal Law?
Have you seen Spotlight?
Yeah.
He's Cardinal Law is the Hulk Hogan of Spotlight.
He's
Cardinal Law. For real. That's amazing. Go on.
The villain of Spotlight was gave the mass at my confirmation.
Wow.
And he asked a question, which I guess my godfather said it was a very easy question. And he pointed to me, and I didn't know the answer, and the whole church laughed. So I feel like I got him in some sort of way, you know. Cardinal Law was the guy. He covered it all up. I feel like that's where it all went wrong with the children thing. Because when I was in elementary school, I'd walk home from school in elementary school. Like, I feel like third grade, I'd be walking home from school. And
it seems like the shit. That's what the things that I would do when I was a kid. The territory I occupied, the amount of fencing around it, both figuratively and literally, like the amount of hours I was allowed to log unsupervised in the expanse of territory, etc. Like compared to what I'm just like not like if I had a kid right now, 8 years old, just based on nothing more than just cultural zeitgeist, the disparity between what I would let that kid do versus what I did when I was a kid is so vast. It makes me ask the question: is also the environment is the disparity actually there?
Yeah,
I would guess it's actually. I'm guessing this is based on nothing. No, but I'm guessing that it's both gotten less dangerous for kids, but we've gotten more awareness of it.
The internet.
Yeah, the internet.
Ruins
It's just
everything.
all local news is national news now. So every horrific crime that occurs or horrific accident that happens with a kid in a car seat, you hear about, and it just feeds that national paranoia.
Our grim fascination with not because we're bad people, but because we're good people probably at heart. Like we want to, it's like the things that are going to pop and sizzle off of a big frying pan full of grease called the internet are stories about innocence. Getting hurt.
Oh yeah.
I read a fucking long ass piece. I don't know why I do this to myself, but I read really long, like, true crime pieces, and I read a long piece just about kids who were trapped in hot cars. And there's this one part that stuck with me. It'll probably stick with you now, so I apologize. But they'd asked a detective what was the worst thing they'd ever seen involving one of these cases.
I've heard this before.
Should I not share this? Should I not? I won't share it.
It's part of our media watchdog segment. Okay. We're all good people.
Everybody, buckle your holy shit belts.
What was the worst thing you ever saw investigating one of these cases? And I remember it said the detective took a pause to gather themselves.
You don't have to include that part.
Yeah. There was a little girl who was 2 who was trapped in a car. It was 100 degrees, and when they found her, she was dead, and she had torn all her hair out of her head.
That's been our show, guys. Thanks for coming. Holy smoke!
Just a nightmare. Just a nightmare.
There was in the.
Oh God!
I think New Yorker magazine, a LAPD homicide detective was asked. They found like a couple dead bodies up in Angeles National Forest, and like they had been there for many years, and a reporter asked the detective, how many people do you think are buried out here? And he said, if I asked every body buried in Angeles National Forest to stand up, it would look like Venice Beach. It's like that's where you go to bury people. So like when you're driving by on the 2 freeway and they'd
all be silver robots.
they all have roller skates. They all have boom boxes on their shoulders.
The amount of caricature art.
We are surrounded by a forest full of murdered people. Like
well, according to that cop, I mean, I have no reason to doubt him, but also Mark Furman as an example. I don't know, he had information too. I like cops are, they don't graduate from cop college to become cops. Some of them know exactly what they're talking about, and some of them are like, I wish I was Mickey Spillane. He was a hard-boiled, kind of writer.
Also, another.
He's also one of Miller Lite's all-stars.
Another LAPD cop said that there's probably more dead bodies between us and Catalina right now, because if you want to really kill somebody, have a boat.
Yeah, man.
Dave, don't yoop that.
That's it.
That was the wrong time to yoop.
That's how you do it.
All right, but your podcast is about food.
Let's all kill someone tonight and find out who wins.
By the way, where's my clock? I'm flying blind here, man.
Yeah.
That doesn't work anymore.
Oh my God.
The cops in Quincy.
It's 9:12. You see?
God damn it.
I'll explain
later. We finally forgot.
Oh, no. Oh, I
get it. It turns out all you have to do is turn a clock off. And we can forget. 9:13. What a bummer.
Of the thoughts swirling in my head are, I'm gonna, there's a good chance what I'm about to do will ruin an episode, as
Zip.
But I'm gonna wing it because of the we're overrepresented on one side. I'll ask for a female volunteer or someone who compartmentalizes as such. Anybody who has a relationship, positive, negative, anything noteworthy that they're willing to share their relationship about their mother. All right, we had a hand go up pretty quickly here.
Come join us.
Come up.
Hello, what's your name?
Lauren.
Lauren?
Yes, I've met you before.
Well,
Yeah.
nice to meet you again.
Yes.
Lauren, yeah. So, did you have a good Mother's Day?
No,
All right.
I did not.
Not is it okay? Well, I'll walk down this path of okay. So, is it because you don't get along with your mom?
Yes. Never really have, actually. So it's never been a good Mother's Day. She's always found a way out of it by either getting mad at us, my brother and I, or canceling Mother's Day. Like today, I was going to plan to take her to Monterey because that's where her mother is scattered. And she was never there when her mother got scattered. So I wanted to take her there to be with her mom. And maybe a couple weeks ago, she got mad at my brother and I and canceled Mother's Day, basically, by sending us a text message saying, I want nothing. Don't do anything for me.
This is like a refreshingly, not to call your problems refreshing, but so effervescent and delicious. But like typically somebody, I mean, like I'm like you're somebody that's like your mom ruins Mother's Day by saying I don't want anything. Like it's like this is a generational thing maybe, or no, not to dismiss it. It's very personal. Okay, I just think it's neat. It's neat because with my mom, and the problem is like, oh shit, what am I supposed to? I don't know. And with your mom, you're saying like, why am I commenting on it? How am I helping? Let's get to the root of this. So your mom is how old?
She's 51.
So you're a youngster.
I am a youngster.
Did she have you very young?
I don't remember, or I don't know. I mean, I'm 25, so 25 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So you're at the age where your mom had you, is what it sounds like. I'm no mathematician, but
does she live in town or is she out of state?
She just moved. I just moved out.
Yeah.
So she just.
So
moved.
you're trying to reach out to her and say, let's hang out. Let's go be in Monterey.
That's Monterey Mike.
So you reached out to your mom and she was like, she didn't want any part of that?
I didn't even get to tell her that's what I was going to do for her.
Do you think if you told her that she'd be open to that or no?
No.
Well, because she said a couple weeks ago, could you tell? Are you comfortable talking about that event? What was the conflict that resulted in your mom canceling Mother's Day weeks in advance?
To be honest, I always forget why. It's kind of weird. It's like an ongoing thing. I could breathe wrong. I could come home at a wrong time. I could do one little thing wrong, and it's just a constant cycle. It's always been like that.
You say come home. Do you live with her?
I used to live with her, yeah.
What about other holidays? Is there also
Christmas is canceled. Mother's Day is canceled.
Wait, just from today?
Just from today, yeah. No, it's a constant thing. It's never happy. It's always. I have been finding ways to spend holidays with other families.
Was that always the case throughout your childhood?
Yes.
What do you think that's about for her?
I know she likes to say that she's not appreciated, and my brother and I have done our best, but we come from divorced parents where it wasn't pretty, and it was a weird custody agreement, and we got tossed back and forth between our parents, and it was never it was a very unstable environment. So that, plus I also know things were triggered by like her upbringing. She wasn't very friendly with her mother, and it's a constant. Looks like it's been a cycle for years.
So it sounds like, yeah. I mean, like when trauma gets handed down, she's not to speculate in either direction, like judging her or forgiving her, but just like from what I'm learning in therapy, like one might speculate that these holidays represent like the opportunity for crisis, and that she's ironically trying to shut them down, thinking that that's going to solve the problem. But of course, she's creating new she's just doing it again.
Yeah, that's exactly what I hear in therapy as well.
that she's like shutting off. She's like, yeah, I don't want to have a heart attack, so I'll shut off all blood to my heart. You know, like, that way I'll be perfectly immortal forever. And so like you're able to know that, but like it's like how do you and yet you're not going to do that when you have kids. Are you going to have kids?
I'm going to have kids one day, maybe. I don't know.
You're going to have them tonight.
Tonight.
Let's spin the wheel.
That's the Harmontown guarantee.
Problematic.
Everybody gets impregnated tonight.
I feel like that is like a common mom threat, though, right? Like that, like my mom gets frustrated around the holidays, and then she's like you guys aren't treating me well. We're not going to do Christmas. Like I feel like that threat is there.
Definitely postponement, and because I learned the word postpone by studying notes left by my mother on Easter morning, and Halloween morning and Christmas morning. There would be like a big fight the previous night, and then we'd wake up, and it would be like my brother would go like, "There's a note," and then we'd look, and it would say, "Easter has been postponed." And I remember learning that word because by going over it with my brother and going, "Does that mean Easter never will happen, or does it mean it'll happen later?" And he's like, "I don't. I think it means it'll happen later." And we'd like look it up.
It happens 3 days later.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, holiday control.
Yeah.
In the parental, I don't want to draw analogies that are going to offend anybody, but like young women who have eating disorders, it's like you're out of control of everything in your life. There's no threshold to fucking like accomplish anything like that feels like change and like there's like a default place of like, oh well, I can eat or not eat for lunch, you know, I can eat less or all these things, like, and it kind of spirals into this syndrome of like, oh, that makes me feel comfortable that I'm out of control. I wonder if like her emotional intake. What am I doing? What is it, like I'm not a therapist. What am I doing? My point. What is my point? How do we turn this into show? I was thinking, looking down the line, that we had a couple of improv trained guys.
No, I loved what you were saying. I mean, I agree with you. It does feel like that kind of like a common threat. And it comes from a place of my mom not wanting to deal with it. Maybe it comes from a good place or something like that.
Well, I'm sure. Like she implies, like she's heard that from her therapist already. Like it's been dimensionalized and personified. She gets it.
Yeah. Now, Lauren, like let's say you had a kid, you know, a boy or girl. Let's say you had two. Say you had one of each. Do you think that you would pass any of that on, of your mother's like hang-ups? Do you think that you would be able to not do that, or do you think you inherit that too?
That's why I'm in therapy. For my parents passed down these traits to me, and my therapist and I are trying to break those before I get into a relationship or have kids. So I know like that I'm not going to pass those traits on, and hopefully I have more of a healthier relationship with my future whoever or my future kids.
Can you tell us like what the language your therapist is using, like encircling this area? Like what are some of the tools or things that you've learned? Anything that's caused like an epiphany about it that sticks out? Just like in talking about your mom in therapy and her relationship with these holidays and canceling them and stuff, has your therapist said anything where you're like, oh, I remember this?
Like she likes to tell me like when your mom gets into her screaming fits and things, just kind of stay calm, and because normally I would fight back. I would argue back with her and say like that's not fair or whatever, you don't understand. Just would stay calm and like just say like, okay mom, okay. And
you should do that. Why? Because does your therapist have a theory about what your mom's doing and then how it's going to play itself out?
It's her attention grabbing. She's trying to grab attention because she didn't have attention when she was younger. Oh. So. But
that's a weird. I mean, it's like not that something being weird means it doesn't exist. I mean, look at Flamingo's knees. But the
episode title.
I lifted that from Oh God, the movie Oh God. So, I'm not a perfect God. Look at Flamingo's kneecap. That's George Burns. Okay, so but it is just. I mean, it's just weird thinking that like here are these days that are demarcated for specialness and attention and all these things, but like they're being superseded. And your therapist is certain like the stories. Are you sure your mom didn't actually endure trauma like from family? It's not about her needing attention. It's about her actually avoiding trauma. Like.
I think it's more attention. Like she had like her history. She was the middle child. She wasn't cared about. Her brother and her sister were, they're the best children in the world. She had to do all the chores.
I mean, Mother's Day with your kids, there's not a lot of competition for that corner. Yeah. It's like you only have so many kids, and it's like they don't have other moms that are like going to box her out. I could see, but in her mind, it's like maybe festivity and tradition and stuff. It's all like a ritualistic way of, like maybe somehow minimalizing her.
Lauren, how much do you think that you like inherit your mother's traits? Like how much of you is she?
I would say like I share 50-50 of my father and my mom. Like, I mean, physicality, like looks and stuff, and personality.
Are you close with your dad?
I kind of. I feel like I'm closer with my dad.
Than mom?
Than mom, because mom tends to push away a little bit more because she says she's tried enough, and my dad,
wow,
he will still reach out even if he's angry at me. Though, like time will pass and then he'll try to reach out. My mom says that she's done enough.
She's tried enough. There's like these hints at backstory with your mom, like she's somehow been victimized in the past, not only by her parents but actually by you guys.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was really hard because my dad was, when they got divorced, it was a very ugly divorce.
She felt like she was in a pageant to like compete as a parent.
Yeah, parents do that. They feel like they need to compete. My mom felt like she needed to give us anything and everything we wanted, and then we kind of. My dad on the other end was telling us like, "Oh, your mom, she's a liar. She's, she left you guys." She left you with us, or left me with you guys. And then, like, things like child support, like your mom didn't give enough money for child support. And so, I mean, it's this really vicious cycle.
Are you and your brother close?
Kind of. Not really. Our family's kind of broken.
It's all fractious.
Yeah.
So I was gonna have somebody come up, and then I was gonna like maybe fix their problem in the form of like an improv scene. Not doing that.
Oh my God, that would be.
I'm pre-problematizing.
Thank you.
I wasn't entertained by the podcast where Lauren was just sitting there crying, and while you guys made jokes about the mythologizing her situation.
But it's amazing that you can come up and talk about that and be like that open about it.
Yeah, thank you so much for bearing that stuff.
You're that aware of it.
I'm sorry, but stay here for a second.
Yeah, like, life all comes at a price. Like we all pay a price for being ourselves, and like you didn't earn or deserve any of that, but you're trying your best to like not pass that along, and be like clearly. If you had a kid, I think we can all agree that you would be a good mom.
Maybe the exercise is to prove that with a scene. We'll do a radio play, improvised radio play.
Oh no!
And your role, don't worry, you don't have to be like Johnny on the spot or anything. You can just say, like you'll be the matriarch of a family, and we'll.
Oh no!
And we'll just.
We're the kids.
Well, we'll start with like we'll start with her. Yes, I'll be your husband.
Okay.
I'm assuming when you foresee yourself having kids, you foresee yourself. I don't want to heteronormatize you or anything. Like, do you see yourself as like married to a dude that you have a kid with them? Is it like a nuclear situation, or is there some other fantasy in your head of like of family?
Just having kids, I guess. It doesn't need to be anything special.
Not with a big. Okay, but okay. So
I don't know.
I'm being overcautious. I just don't want to. Like, by the way, I'm a lesbian. You totally offended me the whole time. Okay, so I'll be your husband, and then we're at the hospital, and we just had our first kid together, and then we'll do like an Avalon type thing where we move through the ages, and you and I will grow old together and die as our family kind of continues, as they have a family of their own and things, and you and I will die of old age happy, assuming that that's part of the fantasy.
Cool.
Okay. All right, but right now we're 25. Lauren's World. Okay. Hey, baby, did it hurt?
No?
Oh, good. God, everyone says it hurts. They said they're gonna bring the baby in. Thank you so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
Lauren, Dan, I'm Dr. Schwartzman.
Problematic.
I have good news and bad news.
Uh-oh.
You have 2 babies. One baby is a super special baby. One baby, kind of an asshole.
Well, they're both going to be special to us, isn't that right, baby?
Right.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's bring them in. Well, they look the same. I think it's great that we had 2 babies.
Mommy? Daddy?
They're already speaking.
Whoa, that's crazy.
What?
Also, sorry, Dr. Schwartzman again. One of your babies can already speak English.
Well, you're stepping on the second baby's line.
Aww.
What's up, you dipshits?
Oh my God! What a mislead. It's the baby that could. Okay. Well,
Dr. Schwartzman, I'm leaving you. You're on your own now.
Yay.
All right. Well, let's get them home. I'm assuming there's equipment and things you probably have to. They probably take a credit card. All right. We'll take the 2 special seats and like the bungee cord and the 2 bottles, I guess, and what diapers? Should throw some diapers in.
Who cares? Anything's more comfortable than that pussy I just got out of.
You know what? I just realized we haven't named them yet. Because I'm like, well, this one. Oh my God, the mouth on him.
Call me Tony.
He picked his own name. Holy, he's so exceptional. Oh my God. And
Name myself?
Yes.
Fucking dumbass.
hey, whoa, Tony.
Hey, sorry.
My name is Baby Angel.
Oh.
I love Baby Angel. I love both of you. You're amazing. 1 month later, baby, the babies are making noise. It's my turn, right? I'll go. I guess I'll go see what's going on in the baby's room.
Where? I got a fucking log in my pants. Help me out.
I mean, it's so hard to stay mad at you, but like, because you're so above board about everything. But how you doing, Angel?
Tony tried to garrote me with the mobile cord.
Tony?
Stay away from my pacifier, you little bitch. Stay on your side of the room.
You guys are sharing a crib. You're just a month old. Like you're not supposed to be, first of all, talking. Second of all, garroting. Third of all, understanding possession. We had hoped to avoid that. Like it's like a runaway train. Well, here, let me change your diaper. Come here, Tony.
Sorry to announce I'm excited too, by the way.
Jesus Christ.
Rock soft.
Daddy, Why did you only circumcise one of us?
Well, Daddy's Jewish and Mom's Lutheran, and you're our little angel. So we felt you were chosen, and so we circumcised you. Is that the answer you were looking for?
It's an answer.
Why are you asking the questions, buddy? I'm the one who's gonna deal with all this schmegma and so on.
Oh, shit. It's 3 a.m. Hello?
Is Lauren there?
Yeah. Well,
This is her mother.
oh, okay. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Put me on speaker.
Well, I'm walking the phone to the master bedroom.
Put me on speaker. I never liked you. I never liked you, Dan.
Well, Anastasia, I've never cared. But
Put my daughter on the phone.
Lauren,
Yes.
it's your mom.
Oh, yay.
I'm gonna put her on speaker.
Okay.
That's by her request. Sorry, my phone's so wet.
Lauren, are you there?
Yes.
Mother's Day is canceled. Click.
Why does she do that every year?
Because she just does.
I mean,
Yep.
all right. Well, that didn't land.
Cancel for her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all right. Hello.
Oh shit! Sorry, I was calling somebody else. Click.
I feel like she just wants attention. Like, I know it seems crazy, but I feel like she wants attention. Like she's fucking like, this is what she does. All right, I got the kids. I left Tony took a huge shit. His dick is gigantic, and Angel's already asking questions about the circumcision.
Okay.
But get sleep, baby. Get some sleep.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Hello?
What the hell?
This is Tony. Go ahead.
What?
Yeah, what do you need? Okay. 2 pounds of kielbasa. 20-ounce strip steak.
Tony, are you running a small business?
I got myself a little deli. Yeah, I opened it up.
Give me that. Hey. Yeah, what? There's an internet now. You don't. Oh, no. Whose phone? How did you even get your own phone? Hello.
Hey, can I get an egg salad and on rye? 2 latkes and an egg cream.
You're calling a 1-month-old.
Yeah, but he has the best egg salad in town. Also got a big dick.
Hey, Dad. You know what the secret is for the egg salad? I use Mom's eggs. I use Mommy's eggs.
You're laughing so much while you're saying it. It's hard to quite make it out. You're saying you use Mommy's eggs. Is what you said.
I use Mommy's eggs.
You in 2020. You have eschewed internet culture and created a telephone-based deli and have learned to harvest eggs in a month. And you're laughing about it.
What's it do you, buddy?
Angel, are you all right? Have you shit your pants?
The doctor said one of us was special and one of us would be kind of an asshole. And I'm starting to wonder, maybe Tony's the one who's special. And maybe I'm the one who's kind of an asshole.
No, that's what special people always think. You're going to be like me. You're going to be a writer. Hello?
Dr. Schwartzman here. Angel Baby is he's the asshole. We just got the test results. Sorry, I gotta go. Oh shit! My sandwich is here.
Did you order it? Payola. All right. 1 year later, at Disneyland. All right, guys. Looks like there's a Dumbo ride.
Hold on to them hats and glasses. This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
Dumbo. They've kind of westernized the Dumbo ride.
Notice.
Ever since the Will Smith movie. They hate that. They changed the rides to fit the movie. Now Dumbo's a cowboy.
Remain seated, please. Permanece sentados, por favor.
This is fucking boring.
Hey, Tony, what did I say in the parking lot?
I want to go see the baby from Roger Rabbit that's a lot like me. You know the one I'm talking about.
Just be quiet and watch the show that we're in, or the ride that we're on.
What are you going to say, Angel, you dumb asshole?
Tony told me that the real Splash Mountain is what happens to girls' pussies when he's around.
Tony, what are you, a Comedy Central writer? You're 1 year old.
Hey, he's going to learn it sooner or later, you know what I mean?
Lauren, can I see you for a moment? Kids, stay here. Eat your cotton candy. Lauren.
Yes?
What if we left them? What if we just left Tony? You know, just imagine you and me and baby Angel. Just Venice Beach. Could get a trailer. There'd be like one of those oscillating fans.
It's tempting.
But you don't.
No.
You're so
supposed
dedicated.
To love them.
Because you want to be a good mom.
I want to be a good mom.
Obviously.
And you want to be a good father, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. But I mean, we couldn't have predicted this.
Life happens.
Okay. All right. Thank you. You brought me strength. Thank you.
Mommy, Daddy.
Oh, hey, Angel.
I snuck away from Tony.
Oh.
I have an idea. Let's leave him in a hot monorail car.
Hey, what's going on over here?
Nothing.
Well, let's put a pin in that, and let's all take the monorail to a different area of the park.
Yeah. Let's go to the vault. I want to see some of that anti-Jew stuff that Disney loves.
You bet. As long as the monorail takes us there. 2 tickets, please. 3 and two juniors.
Welcome to Anti-Semitic Town.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I can't believe this exists still.
All right.
Well, here we are. Hey, Tony, I think Daddy left his iPad mini under a seat up there toward the front of the car, about 90 yards from the door.
Oh, I got you. Hold on a second. Let me see here.
Come on. Lauren, let's go. No.
Hey, there's no fucking iPad under here.
Monorail now leaving. Doors locked.
Lauren! 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 All right, Angel, run for the parking lot. Your mom can raise Tony. Run! All right. Keys! God damn it, keys!
I only have baby keys.
I gotta. Hold on. Daddy's gotta make a phone call. Angel, get in the back. Strap yourself in.
Okay.
Hello, 911. Something happened. Disneyland, and my wife and my kid are on a monorail, and
This sounds like a bad performance, sir. Did you kill your wife and child?
No, they're alive. Go find them. God damn it. Fuck. I don't even know what Angel, you and I. Shit. Fuck. Hey, let me out.
Hey, do you know how fast you were going, sir?
I was 0. I was parked in the.
We're in the Buzz Lightyear lot.
All right. On you go.
What? Shit, I thought they were. Okay.
Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Giraffe section? What the hell? We're gonna... Oh, God damn it. Oh, fuck.
Do you know how fast you're going?
Like 12?
Correct. On you go.
Listen, Angel, there are people and there are people, and people can't control to whom they're born and who they're raised by, but you and I, like, we are simpatico, okay? And I love your mother so fucking much, and I wish that she wasn't so dedicated to being a good mother, because now she has to be with that turd for the rest of her life. But
Cut to the hot monorail with Lauren and Tony.
Holy shit, it's fucking hot up in here. Might as well climb back up your vavoosh, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a thing Italians say, right, Mama?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, Ma, we're gonna die, aren't we?
Hopefully not. Hopefully we'll see your brother and your father again.
Oh, it's fucking over. I'm gonna start tearing out my little baby hair, I guess.
No. It's gonna be fine.
CBS News. A mother and a child are trapped in a hot monorail between Disney and downtown Disney. The baby seems to be from New York for some reason. Pretty salty.
Meanwhile, in the basement of the Pentagon, we close in on a hissing cryogenic chamber until, as the camera reaches the latches, they pop open. A familiar man leans forward, gasping for air. Someone needs help. It's Walt Disney.
Mr. Disney, we told you that you wouldn't wake up until the year 2038.
Well, that's where I second-guessed you, see? I designed my cryogenic chamber to also react to to scenarios of peril at my own Disney World.
So are you aware that we have a hot monorail crisis going on?
Corporal, I can't hear you over the sound of me strapping on this jetpack. Disney away! Can you read my mind? I'm one person flying higher than I ever have. Every star is a cup of water. Every moon, there's only one. I will eat it like a cupcake. I will also touch the sun. Hello?
Hello, it's Walt Disney?
Yes.
It's your lawyers. Why did you create Anti-Semitic Town in Disneyland?
Oh, is that still going?
Yeah.
Oh, for criminy, jeez. I'll take care of it. Jarvis!
Yes, sir.
Take target the monorail.
Right away, sir.
Let's pop a hole in this can. I'm snarky.
Wow. Walt Disney, it's me, your enemy, Knott's Berry Farm.
I don't even know who you are.
Don't be a dick. I mean, we got Montezuma's Revenge. It's a pretty good park.
Nope.
Yes, I've heated up your monorails to almost unbearable temperatures. A mother and her son are about to die.
Well, I guess we just need a little help from our friends, like the Frozen girl. Make it real! Make it real! Make it alive! I can't remember the song!
Let it go. Let it go.
Let it go! Make it go! Make it real! It's the copyright version! Make it real! Make it so!
Now the whole monorail's cold as a Jiminy Cricket.
Wait, we need someone to lasso that speeding monorail. Look, it's Woody from Toy Story. You are a guy I know. You are a guy I know. I got it. That'll slow it down to a crawl and eventually a stop. We can get that baby and that mommy out of there.
And to help, if only there were just a couple of fish from Pixar's Fish movie, Fish.
We're here.
We got a special situation. I was so racing to the point of Randy Newman's songs are the same. I couldn't obey the rules of improv. I was like, no, I get it. I'm mine. I will eat when we get there, Randy's mine.
Walter, you okay?
No, sorry, guys. Now, could y'all just give me a moment while I go down into the monorail car and see to these two? I've always had a special place for dissatisfied customers.
Holy shit, fucking Walt himself.
What's going on? Well, aren't you an articulate little man?
I pulled all my hair out. I look like Tony Soprano. It's a good thing. It's good. I'm happy about it.
Young lady, is this your son?
Yes.
I'm awful sorry you had a bad time at Disneyland.
Can I just say that you should make it so you can just stop the monorails, you know what I mean?
They also said you should make it so Anti-Semitic Town doesn't happen. I can't control everything.
Those fucks! You need some of that stuff, you know what I mean? You can't problemize everything.
Sometimes the tail wags the dog. Speaking of which, what if I were to say to you, young man, that I had a special island where aggressive boys like you, who maybe don't fit in as much when held to the standard of humanity, can be more adorable when surgically augmented to be half animal?
There are any Jewish guys over there or no?
Sure. Dr. Moreau has changed his name to work in show business surgery.
You know what? I'm in no matter what. Take me to that fucking island, Walt.
Ma'am, what if I were to tell you that the best thing you could do for this child was to let him go to a special island where he'd be mutilated surgically? Rejoin your husband with the good child. Live out your days.
But I love him.
Well, what is love, really? When it's unconditional, then can't you just love a fire hydrant?
True.
Isn't all love somehow conditional? Aren't we therefore somehow accountable to whether or not we are loved? And aren't the people that get that the ones that become truly creative in an endless quest to make things, whether they be bad movies or giant theme parks, and just always just trying to get people to love us that didn't love us very much? I think if this child were to be have floppy ears like grafted to the side of his head, fed Spam from a stainless steel bowl, and regularly whipped with a crazy Jedi electric whip, so it didn't feel as violent, because it's like sci-fi violence.
I told you, I'm fucking in already. You waiting for my fucking balls to drop over here? Let's go.
I just want to make sure the young lady's okay with it.
If that's what he wants.
Ma, I'm Italian. I'm pot animal anyways. Let me go.
That is true.
So racist. But so are animals. And we love them. Disney,
Yeah.
And Walt Disney turned into a rocket. and took the baby Tony to a special island where he was never seen again. Lauren returned to giraffe parking, where Dan and baby Angel were still unable to figure out how to get out. Oh shit, it's your mother. Play it cool. Hey, baby.
Hey.
Hi, Mama.
Hi.
We were just coming to get you. We were going to pull the car around.
Sure. You were.
You know I left you for dead in a hot monorail. I guess for all our effort, we're just all a big pile of whatever happened to us.
Sure. Tony's gone.
I noticed.
Disney.
Are you stoked?
I let him be what he wanted to be.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dead or just missing?
Apparently, he's going to an island. He's going to be a half animal.
I love it.
But what of his thriving deli business?
Who's going to answer that?
I don't know.
That's his phone. I'll answer.
Hey,
Hello?
I ordered pastrami like fucking 4 days ago. Where's my goddamn sandwich?
Where? You reached a baby. Click.
Now that's a Mother's Day.
Yay!
You're the best there is. Nothing's gonna be the best. Mother was a fair when you're on the top of the Mother's Day. Panavision. That was good. I think we got to the...
Let's thank Lauren, everybody. Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren, for sharing your pain.
We fucking did it. We solved Mother's Day. We fixed Mother's Day. Right? Didn't we?
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
No,
were you traumatized?
I mean...
I think we made it worse, didn't we? You're lonelier now than you were when you came up.
No.
Here's-
I love this place.
Here's what the Doughboys. Here's some shitty advice from us. Tomorrow can be your Mother's Day. Bring her over some dinner or something, and you can patch it all up tomorrow if
That's
you'd
what
like.
I was planning.
It doesn't. The holiday doesn't matter, and bring her something to eat, and you guys will work it out, right?
She seems like the type of mom that'll be like, "Is this a secret Mother's Day?"
Yeah, she is.
So cut you off at the pass.
That's true. Yeah, not everything can be solved by food, I guess.
But your podcast can. The Doughboys is on every Wednesday at 3 p.m. You don't have a time slot. No, thank you so much, Lauren. Is there anything else? We don't want you to be voicelessly railroaded by our mirth. Anything else? I don't know. I'm bad at.
Mom? I don't know. My mom doesn't listen to this, but no.
Do you love your mom?
I love my mom.
You must.
I love my mom. I love my stepmom. I love my other moms that I consider mothers to me. My best friend's mother. Love her. Live with her now.
All those mothers.
Woo!
All right. Props to all those mothers. All right. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you. You can.
Thank you, Lauren.
So she does have a lot of moms. So her mom is like getting boxed out. That's what we learned right at the end. I was like,
Not really, though.
I was like, what's the? There's the.
I said that's not the most healthy way to think of it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's Harry's.
That's true, though. It's true.
Captain Health.
Foster Brooks is here.
That is not the most healthy way to think about it, or the most healthy way to say what you said, because it sounds like okay, never mind. All right. No. I wasn't gonna.
Now, Dan, will you call mom or no? Only
I
a text?
texted her. For God's sakes, we like it that way.
That's it.
We got it. We got it.
She wouldn't like a call better than a text.
Ugh, fart on you. I texted her.
What did she say? Did she text you back?
Yeah.
What did she say?
She said, I don't know. She.
Great.
If I read or text that, then it'll be like, wouldn't that just make the problem worse? Like, I kind of feel like, I don't know why my parents didn't come to my wedding. Like, I kind of feel like maybe it was because maybe they didn't want to, maybe part of the, whole thing of like me talking about my life and stuff maybe is like off-putting to them. So I don't want to like read my mom's text for fodder. Because on the off chance that is the thing, I don't want to,
Was she happy to hear from you?
It's a text, man. She was like,
all right.
I think you should bring her a meal tomorrow.
Something from Olive Garden or Chuck E. Cheese.
From Tony's Deli.
All right. Well, what have you learned this whole time, Spencer?
What? Come on, man. Why do you give me all the hard questions?
End my show!
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm not going to. I'll sit here.
All right, well, then I'll go back to the dregs of the fucking shitty note app because we don't have an ending. My chiropractor's a piece of shit, but he's really nice. Nobody came tonight because of Mother's Day.
How's your back?
My back's great. Look at me. I'm doing high kicks.
Is it better?
It's great. It's great. Seek is here, but so I can't bring him up now because Seek's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing better.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But let's problematize that. Who says Seek's doing better? Seek.
He does.
Yeah. Who's he talking to?
Us.
Yeah. And why is he doing that?
Because he cares about himself and us.
Exactly. Racist.
And us.
All right. Tap Titans, Tap Galaxy, and Tap Tycoon. Check them out. All right. That's it.
Do you want to do a little song?
Is there? Yeah, but not a rap. Is there anything that's not a rap? Like just a song?
Like family?
I think, yeah. You want to do a little song?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want it to be about?
What we've learned.
Okay.
No, come on. And what if I had said potatoes? Would you have played something else? I want it to be about potatoes. That seems like a rap. Okay, but that doesn't have to be. All right, I won't. Okay, yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. This is called What Have We Learned by Dan Harmon and the Doughboys.
What have we learned? All right. Yeah. All right. I feel like it's over. Okay.
You got it?
What have we learned? What have we learned?
What have we learned?
We learned
That you gotta forgive your mama. Forgive that mama.
What have we learned? All right, this isn't working. All right. Okay, all right.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. Slow it down. Yeah.
This better be good.
Keep it tight.
Tell them what you learned.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna rip up your body. I'm gonna rip up your body. Sorry about that. From the break of dawn till the afternoon, till the street comes through and keeps going through the Lincoln Tunnel to the top of the tower. Gonna lay your body down hour after hour. Gonna go to 2nd Street in Lincoln Park. Gonna fuck your body till the day gets dark. Gonna put my penis inside of you, and when I'm done with it, you'll think I'm through, 'cause I'll declare it. I'll say I'm all done, and you'll say, oh, I think we won, 'cause you've got that spirit. You're a team player. I fucked your mama like I was a dragon slayer. Doughboys.
This song goes out to all the mums out there.
And all the dads, too.
We like what you do to create us.
Whether it's your pussy or your cum.
Mix them on up. Daddy shoot into mommy's little slit in the baby comes out 9 months later. And then we praise you on one day in May.
But don't forget about that day in June. We gotta celebrate daddies too. Forget grads, they get too much shit. Oh yeah, daddies, that is it.
So mama, get down on your knees. Sit down, daddy fly, do what you please, yeah. I'm talking a Father's Day blowjob. Give a daddy a Father's Day blowjob. Father's Day.
If you love your kids, you're gonna suck our dad's dick.
Family is what's important. That's a takeaway. Family till the end of the day. Got a family.
That's Harmontown, everybody. Thank you for coming. Cheer for the Doughboys, Nick and Mitch, Spencer Crittenden, Lauren. Thank you for coming up and joining us. I'm Jeff Davis. Let's hear it for your mayor, Dan Harmon, everybody. Drive fast, take chances.
Feral Audio.
Hi, it's Dan Harmon. If you're like me, you're a big fan of Harmontown, the podcast, and you wish that you didn't have to wait so long for it to drop after we record it. But here's the thing. Jeff, Spencer, take it.
You do not have to wait. You can not only hear it right after it happens, you can watch it too in delicious, deluxe, high-definition multicam on your browser or your mobile phone.
We do edit some stuff out sometimes. Like, I'll say something so incredibly racist that we will catch it right before it drops as a podcast.
But you get to watch Dan right before the sedition hearing when he talks shit about Trump again.
Right.
Sometimes we have really famous guests, but we just cut it out of the podcast entirely.
Because it turns out they're pedophiles.
Sometimes Spencer's never wearing a shirt.
Most of the time. We put that in post.
Not to mention all the times you always hear people laughing at something that doesn't sound funny because someone is making a funny face or wearing a funny shirt.
Yeah, for $5 you get to watch all that stuff. You can see the weirdos sitting down, like getting nervous on camera. There's like one camera that's just right up someone's nose, and they're always picking their nose and stuff like that. That's good.
As if that wasn't enough, here's some political incentive. We will match your new subscription to the Harmontown live feed up until April 15th. The day of the big tax march, we'll match it with a donation to the ACLU,
which stands for a clue, which is what you should get.
And I know that's triggering your thought of going, doesn't the ACLU now have $800 million? Because, but here's the thing, ACLU money is like toilet paper money. It never expires.
But if political encouragement weren't enough, some apolitical encouragement is if you sign up, you get access to a year and a half of our back catalog of video episodes, including a tour in Australia and Harmon Country, as well as audio downloads on the night of the record, on just minutes after it airs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how many times have you been listening to Harmontown for free after Wednesday and thought, I would really want to know what that guy looks like or what she looks like, or I want to see exactly how uncomfortable the audience is when Adam Goldberg is on stage. Mm-hmm. Now, for $5 a month, you get to see it as well as hear it. You can almost taste the Harmontown. Go to harmontown.com/live for your subscription to watch us as well as hear us. It really, really is a taste treat. Dan gave me little eyebrows.
I was like, holy shit, that guy just hit the bullseye. It really is a taste treat.